Welcome to the nice episode. Finally,
the nice episode.
Finally.
No delays. You were just there ready to
nice
say, like,
episode.
welcome to the nice episode.
Episode 69.
Oh,
Nice.
my.
Nice.
What makes it nice? You'll have to...
No, I don't want to explain it. No. If you explain the joke, then the joke loses all meaning.
It loses all meaning, and it's not funny anymore.
Exactly. But if you know what it is, then you know it's nice.
We're winking at you right now.
That's Matty right
yes,
there.
I never introduce myself. Hi, I'm Matthew.
Yeah, I never know what to do because we co-hosts. There's no central host.
I don't mind. You can be like, hi, I'm Alessandro. This is my bitch, Matthew.
Wow. Damn, went from nice to bitch.
This is the other guy that sits at the table with me whenever I try to podcast.
He just rocks up at my house on a Saturday and I have to give him water.
Like clockwork every time. This time, though, he brought me a gift of a Red Bull.
So, I mean, this...
You were going to say Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Red
like
Bull.
Bugs Bunny.
Elmer Fudd.
Is it? It's Elmer Fudd, yeah. I thought it was Bugs Bunny. It's Elmer Fudd, yeah.
He's hunting rabbits.
Elmer Fudd is weird, yeah. I'm hunting rabbits.
He's hunting Red Bulls.
He's hunting Red Bulls. Wings.
Wings.
This is the Elmer Fudd episode.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's what it's called.
Elmer Fudd with 69 is the image I don't want to picture. No.
Take it away. That's not nice. Not
nice at all, no.
Let's get back to nice. So episode 69.
Red
I'm your
Bull.
co-host, Matthew. You're my...
I'm another co-host.
You're my bitch, Alessandro.
Wow, damn. This is getting intense.
I know. Okay, no. No one's anyone's bitches. What are you drinking? Some good tea before you open your wings.
I love tea. Tea's so good, and it's still a bit chilly today, so tea is
What
good.
do you mean a bit chilly? It's so cold.
It's warmer than it was during the week.
Okay,
During the week
you're
was so cold. It was freezing.
You're dying.
I think it was on Wednesday, the day after Comic-Con.
Nearly died.
Yeah, I went to work in a t-shirt.
Why? Why would you do that?
Well, because it was like sunny outside, so I was like, oh, whatever.
Actually, I can't even be mad at you because at my office when it's winter, we've had this discussion. People put the aircon up on like 32. It's like, no, this is too hot. What are you doing?
But that's the thing. Like I guess in the building where I work as well, they have like a dynamic temperature thing, so it was stuffy inside. But then I have to walk to the car train station, and boy, that
rookie mistake.
That wouldn't cut me down.
Let me just say that walk turned into a run, didn't it?
It was
You're
brisk,
like, help,
and it was like 2 minutes in. I'm like, I'm very cold at the moment.
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
It was like 10 degrees. It was already 6 in the evening, so it was chilly.
Oh yeah. Sun's going down.
Rest in
Getting
peace,
real
Sandy.
low.
Yeah, sun's getting real low.
You're like, I'm dying.
It was horrible. It was really horrible. I got into my car and turned on the like heater aircon, and I was like, it's nearly October. What is going on?
What is going
here?
on? Yeah, so it's rained once in Joburg. What, like 3-4 weeks ago? It rained one day. It was a bit
very
of rain.
light rain. Yeah.
And the rains have been so late this year because usually we get a couple of downpours in September.
Yeah,
not heavy. A couple of drizzles maybe, and then
We get those like early thunder showers. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see everyone I know is dying. It's like, please, just some rain.
Well, I was at your house on Tuesday, and I saw you had that humidifier out, and I was like,
a
"Yeah, I need one
little
of those."
baby humidifier.
I like that it's like all RGB'd.
It is. Yeah, actually, I never thought about it.
It's a gamer humidifier.
It's a gamer humidifier. Yeah, but that thing's so weird because you put it on. So I had one of those old school humidifiers back in the day when I lived with my mom.
What, just some hot water in a towel?
It's literally, well, okay, not that old school. But it's basically you put it on and it's essentially heating the water.
Yeah.
So it takes like a minute or two to, actually humidify, whatever the hell you want
to actually make that good steam.
This little thing, you put it on, it does it immediately.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, what sorcery is this?
It was like a little robot that was vaping. It was just like...
yeah, I'm like, is it actually doing what it's meant to do, or is it just puffing out some vape clouds into the cottage? Like, what is that cherry smell? Oh my God.
And what does the color mean? Is it just like, does it just change color?
It just changes color, yeah.
So cute.
It's very cute. It's a good time.
Can you control it via your smartphone? Like,
No,
humidify
it's
now.
not bad. You clap, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
humidifier on.
Yeah, get to work.
Humidifier, change to red.
Speaking of home appliances that are robots, I really want a Roomba. I don't know why.
Are those vacuum cleaners?
Yeah, they just like kind of go around.
I want one as a throne for the cats.
Yes, at your place. Well, I don't know if it would work because you've got stairs. Yeah.
But have to just move it.
But you'd get it just so you could get. Oh man, Luna on that on her throne.
On a throne.
Yeah.
Because that makes me so happy. Those videos of cats just sitting.
Good.
And then some people go the extra mile and put some clothing attire on.
Like the one with the shark.
Yeah. There's a little baby shark riding.
My favorite of
Roomba.
those is still the one where the two cats are fighting and the Roomba's coming towards them. The cat just uses its foot to like redirect it and doesn't like.
Hey,
so good.
This doesn't concern you.
Get out of here.
But those things, would it fall downstairs or does it sense? Oh,
well, no. It would sense, but then it would be like limited to like.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe, I'm assuming initial prototypes, it was a thing of when it bumped a wall or turn.
Yeah, I think so. But now it's got like little IR sensors that.
We actually, speaking of Roombas and automatic vacuum cleaners, there's a YouTuber, I can't remember the name now, who does really cool tech stuff, like just tinkers with stuff and does awesome little tweaks to existing gadgets. I think this dude took a Roomba or whatever brand of vacuum cleaner and modified it so that every time it hit a wall, it like swore or it was like, It was so good.
In your house, it would be every 30 seconds.
It's like,
fuck, shit, God, damn door.
So it's some good times.
Oh, that's. I've been recently. Well, I finished recently watching Breaking Bad again, and
you and John Michael. He's never seen the show before.
Oh, he's never seen it.
He's on the last season now. He loves it.
I've watched it before, so I just wanted to rewatch it because the movie's coming out in like a week or two. And yeah, man, watching that thing again it's such a good series. But when Jesse gets a Roomba and like him and Walt are just sitting in the room and like it just goes past and Walter's like, what the hell is that? He's like, it's a Roomba.
It's a Roomba.
I was like,
bitch.
What the But it's like, you think about it, the show, I guess that season was out in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah,
that thing must
like,
be
whoa.
brand new. Like, what the hell is
that's like
this
when
thing?
you insert the Jesse meme, like science, bitch. What the hell is that?
It's so, man, Jesse
This
goes
is the
through
future.
He goes through arcs in that show.
He really does.
It's really heartbreaking by the end.
The gangster, don't spoil. John Michael's still watching. Although maybe he'll finish it this weekend.
I mean, even the previous seasons, just like you can see he really is just in over his head completely.
We were chatting the other day about the episode where the kid was poisoned.
Oh man, dude.
And then, like right at the end, so John Michael has seen this. He brought it up. Where right at the end, it shows that Walter actually had
and that shit comes back. Yeah.
Shit.
But it's still. Oh man, the fourth season with what's that guy's name? Gus Fring. Like the whole rivalry between Walt and Gus Fring is so
hectic,
good.
yeah.
It's so. Los
And then that
Pollos
ending.
Hermanos. But the best intro to an episode is where it's that dude who owns like all the food franchises in Germany and he's just eating those nuggets with like different sauces. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Some of those intros are just phenomenal.
good
Yeah,
show.
they're really good. My dogs are going mental in the background.
Like no Breaking Bad spoilers.
Yeah, they're like we
Like
blocking
the
their
show's
ears
been
and
out for like how
screaming.
many years?
I'm busy watching now Better Call Saul, the prequel one.
Is it good?
It's good.
Is it a prequel? It's not a spin-off.
Well,
it's
a
not-
spin-off, but it's
okay.
it takes place
For some
before
reason, I thought
Breaking
it was
Bad.
after Breaking Bad.
No, it's like you see how Saul comes to even get his name Saul Goodman because that's not his name, and how he meets Mike and how he meets Gus Fring and
Oh, Mark, good guy, bodyguard, Mark.
yeah, good guy bodyguard
Damn.
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a different vibe to Breaking Bad because obviously it doesn't involve drugs and whatever, but it's still like that really good writing, very slow.
He's
and
a good
writing.
lawyer, man. He's
And that dude's a good actor, Bob Odenkirk, I think his name is. Yeah, he's so good. Yeah.
God damn, that's
good.
amazing. I should watch that.
I'm
wanna
keen for
rewatch
the movie,
Breaking
man.
Bad.
Oh my god.
When is it coming out? Is it this month? Next
No, it's
month?
like second week
November?
of October. Yeah.
Okay, and it's
El
on
Camino.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Is Breaking Bad on Netflix? Hey.
Yes. Yeah. That's where I watched it.
Oh my gosh, I need to watch it.
Just rewatch it. It's actually not as long as I thought it would. It didn't take. I started watching it when I was sick, and then I just like watched an episode a day or something like that, and like finished it pretty quickly. It was only 5 seasons, so.
And they're not like the 20 episode seasons. It's
Nah,
a
they're
couple of
like the
episodes,
first
yeah.
season's only like 6 episodes, and then the rest are like 13.
That's
so yeah,
fine,
it's
though.
pretty simple to get through.
Damn.
Damn Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Science, bitch.
Science.
You know what else is science? Video games.
I was just thinking the same thing. When you put on a console and you're like, wow, how does this work? Science. It's just science, bitch.
It's just microprocessors and transistors sending ones and zeros, and then somewhere along the line 4K happens, and boom, video games.
Which, to be honest, I still don't quite get how computers in general, I don't know how we've manipulated electricity and just processing power in general to do what shit does today.
If you wanna have a real trip, go look up quantum computing.
No, I don't want to.
That shit is fucking wild.
I don't want to.
You think we just have ones and zeros? What about all the stuff in between?
The 0.5s and the 0.7s. Oh, no.
At any point, that thing could be a 1 or a 0. So what do we do with that uncertainty?
Oh, my gosh.
It's like computers built on Schrodinger's cat theory.
Oh, no. So if you ring the bell... Oh, wait, no, not Schrodinger. Sorry, that's...
Your computer can be on and off at the same time.
That's Pavlov's...
What, the bell?
Sorry, not Schrodinger's... I was thinking of the wrong psychologist.
What's Pavlov's thing?
Where if you ring... So I think this dude, every time he fed his dogs, he'd ring the bell.
Yeah.
And eventually it reached to a point where he'd ring the bell and they'd salivate, even though he wasn't giving them food. But they were like programmed to recognize.
So it's like association.
Association.
Yeah. No, I recognize the name.
Pavlov.
Yeah, I recognize the name Pavlov, but not that specific story.
Pavlov's dogs,
Dog bells. What is up with scientists and animals?
I don't know. So that is not Schrodinger's cat.
You know Schrodinger's cat.
I know Schrodinger's cat. Yeah.
Cat could be dead or alive at any point.
Yeah. Pavlov's.
It's like any of my dogs right now. I don't see them. They could be dead or alive. I don't know.
You ring your bell and
yeah, they could be salivating and dead, or salivating and alive.
Yeah, it's Pavlov. Oh yeah,
Pavlov.
It's basically conditioning.
Yeah, human. Well, yeah, I guess
That's
mental
so
conditioning.
Funny. You should do that with your dogs. Ring the bell and they'll start salivating. Like, where's the dinner?
Is it like when I say hello on the podcast and you're like, here we go again?
There we go. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Here we go. It's basically, I don't start salivating though. I do immediately think, where's my Red Bull?
Yeah, you see, we've conditioned ourselves.
This is how we do the podcast every week.
Yeah,
you know?
I need a Red Bull when I'm doing a podcast.
You do. I laughed yesterday. Like, hey, see you in the morning. Bring Red Bull.
I didn't know if you still had.
It's like a transaction. Like, if you don't bring it,
release the hounds.
Release the. Good Lord. That's
this Checkpoint Chat talk about video games. Although this week, because it's been real busy, I don't know. I haven't been playing that many video games. I've been playing some, but one of them I can't talk about, and then the other stuff is like stuff I was wrapping up from last week. So,
but we can touch on a few things. We've both played a certain game. We both came off from Comic-Con. We can just
Comic-Con was rad as hell. Like,
it was really good.
Comic-Con was real good, and really happy that we got to work with Nintendo there. Nintendo.
It was a good time. Nintendo
got Matty to build some good Mario Maker levels, and then we podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah, did a little thing with Bob and Tuesday.
I just in general, like Comic-Con in general was just like really good.
It was a good vibe, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed it. I don't think I've heard other than maybe like the food's a bit expensive, but other than that,
conference food,
it's
man.
Conference
it's like
food, yeah. But everyone seems to have really enjoyed this year. And I think like my touch point is I didn't go last year. And I know last year had teething issues because it was the first one. But the general consensus was last year was really good.
Yeah, last year was still good. This year was just better. And this year
they moved to new venues, more space, I think just better plan.
Do you know that Comic-Con had more attendees than E3?
Really?
Yeah, so they put out a statement, I think, on Wednesday saying that they had 71,000. E3 2019 only had 65.
Damn, we're bigger than E3. Confirmed.
Which to me blows my mind, because if I think of the space, like E3 has way more space. And even then it still feels cramped.
No, but it's like what I was saying, so unrelated but related. Rage happening this weekend.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing against Rage. Like, I love Rage. I've gone many, I didn't go last year.
Many moons.
But I've been to Rage many times. But my one thing is that Rage pales in comparison to a lot of the overseas expos. Yeah. Like, we've been to Gamescom and E3, and those things take place across several halls, or much more.
Especially
space.
Gamescom, it's just
Gamescom
like 8
is
massive halls.
Like, the only way I can contextualize it for people, and I've told them about it, it's like, imagine 5 domes basically.
Yeah,
and that's honestly how big
each little conference. Like each little expo hall at Gamescom massive. Is like one Rage.
It's honestly, it's that big.
It's colossal.
And then, but Comic-Con honestly gave me that feeling of it's big. Like there was a lot more space. Not quite as big as Gamescom, obviously, but it's big. There were 5 halls, I think.
Yeah, I think that's why it felt to me like different to E3 because it was like 5 halls and it was all like spread out very nicely.
There was something for everyone. So there was,
Yeah.
the artist's alleyway. If you just want to go buy art, that's where you go. There's a whole lot of good stuff to buy.
Such good art
There was
there, oh my God.
like the specifically the gaming hall where the Nintendo had their stand, PlayStation
Sony
had their
had
stand, Xbox were there.
Work? Oh yeah, they were there.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
they were.
And then there was like, I don't know.
There was the ATK arena there, the esports stage as well.
I don't know, but the esports stage was. Oh wait, it wasn't that.
It was with the gaming hall, yeah.
And then there was another hall which was where the main stage was, where all the guests were.
The guests on stage, and then there was all the merch.
Yeah.
Then there was a board gaming hall.
Board gaming hall, and then there was KidsCon as well.
KidsCon was pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool that there's a space for like parents go for kids because like you don't realize that a lot of mainstream video games and stuff like that is not really suitable for kids like below the ages of 10 or whatever. So I really enjoyed the little like it looked like a little paintball arena, but it was with Nerf guns. It was really cool.
To be honest, we walked into KidsCon like, oh man, there's like nothing here for us, and we walked past that thing like, I want to go in there.
I want to go in there
people.
and shoot Nerfs.
shoot.
It just looked really, really fun. Yeah. So yeah, Comic-Con was rad. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I think next year is going to be, and just like the logistics of it, like parking was
a dream.
Easy.
It was so easy.
Getting in and out was easy. Moving through the halls. I mean, it got busy, especially in the artist alley, but I always felt like there were enough walkways to get between places.
Plenty room,
it was just really well organized. I thought it was really good.
So Rage is happening this weekend.
I am going.
I'm also not going. I just don't have the time.
After Comic-Con, like I just don't see the need.
I just don't know if this trend will continue where next year will it be Comic-Con, then the week after Rage, or
it just feels like Rage is like getting like almost like the sloppy seconds from Comic-Con, because it's like I know for a fact after speaking to some artists at Comic-Con that they won't be going to Rage anymore because they can't afford to pay for the two cons, and also like they get far more business at Comic-Con. So suddenly you've got far less of an artist alley vibe there. I'm assuming your cosplay is far less as well because like a lot of that happens at Comic-Con now. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of merchandise retailers don't go to both either. Like we know Nintendo's not even going to Rage at all. So like
they put all of their effort into Comic-Con. They're gonna have I think 0 presence.
They're not there. They're just like not there.
So I mean we only know that from talking to them. I don't know if I'm sure PlayStation will be there.
Yeah, Sony and Xbox will be there. Yeah.
But it's a weird thing of the events are so close together.
It almost seems like the big thing at Rage is like PC hardware. So like if that becomes their niche, that's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But it's like it's so not what it used to be at all. I mean, even last year, I went last year and it was just like this is dead.
A good year or two now.
I think I walked that floor in about half an hour last year, and I was like,
I'm done. That is my thing as well with where I've said. Like, how do I explain the difference between Comic-Con and Rage? Is that Rage, you can literally walk around the dome in, like you said, half an hour, you're done. Comic-Con, it felt like there was just, I'm going to go spend an hour in this hall, then I'm going to make my way there, we'll look around for another hour. There just felt like there was just more variety and more to do. But I don't know.
I think on the Sunday we were there, like I didn't even realize the time going past. I was like, oh shit, it's like 5 o'clock already. Yeah.
The day just flew.
Yeah, because we were just making our way through the halls and just checking things out. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see next year what happens if Rage, like we don't know. This is all hearsay. Like maybe Rage is still just as popular as it breaks records. Maybe year on year it grows. But if it doesn't next year, are they gonna stick to the weekend after? Are they gonna move venues? Are they gonna move times? I don't know.
I think the LAN really helps them.
The LAN
because that's still it still blows my mind that people. I guess it's a habit thing. Like you've got a group of friends that you've been landing with for years and years, and this is like your communal thing. So that's cool. It's weird because I used to walk through that LAN and just see people playing like games like Dota and Counter-Strike, and it's like
you can do that online.
You can do this at home for free. Like I don't know.
Maybe it's just a communal thing.
But it is I guess it's a communal thing, and I think that's what really brings a lot of people to Rage. But in terms of, I mean, it used to be a big media event, even for. When I didn't used to go to E3, like some distributors would bring some developers here for interviews and stuff like that. It's like I feel no reason to go anymore.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, interesting times. But yeah, Comic-Con was dope. And
It was a good time.
I thoroughly enjoyed seeing a lot of people. Got to see a lot of friends.
Yeah, so a lot of friends sort of met up with a lot of people that I've actually just never met in person.
Yeah,
Which is
that
cool.
too. Got to meet some listeners, like Gary.
Yeah, Gary was there.
it was very
After
cool to meet him.
many years of
Yeah, it's been
knowing who Gary
ages.
is.
Yeah, but it was weird because I recognized him immediately, which was really cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah. So it was nice. Like anyone who came to say hi was
It was
awesome.
a good time.
Yeah.
There was one photo actually that surfaced. Did you see, I don't know what his name is on Twitter, but he said he even took a photo of us on the stand and tweeted it. I was like, oh, who's this
Who?
guy? I'll look up his name.
There were a lot of people that I knew were there, and I just didn't run
You
into.
just didn't see them, yeah.
Yeah. It was really sad, but it was nice to see people that I don't usually see. Like Sam Wright was there, who even though we live both in Joburg, like I hardly see her. Grant Hines, always
yeah,
nice
we
to
went
see him. Luca, who supplies us with our Red Bull. He was shoutcasting a great Street Fighter match.
Street Fighter.
I don't know who this is.
I actually vaguely remember him coming up and just taking a photo.
What's his handle there? K Sif.
Yeah, I actually don't know how to
3R.
pronounce it.
That's cool. Oh.
But it was only after I was like, oh, he actually tweeted a photo of us.
That's cool. That's awesome. Should have come to say hi.
Yeah. But I remember seeing someone come up and take a photo, and I was like, oh, okay. And then only much later, I was like, oh, it was you. This whole time.
Nah, it was cool. Comic-Con was rad, and I think next year we'll be doing some more stuff there for sure. For sure. On the nice × 2 episode.
No, whoa, that's not enough weeks in a year.
we couldn't do the nice episode on the Nintendo stand. Just too spicy.
Too spicy for a family-friendly show.
Too spicy for a family-friendly show.
Yeah, but that's Comic-Con.
So yeah, and then during the weekend, I finished Gears 5. Good game. Enjoyed it. Didn't like the ending, which is weird because in Gears 4, I didn't like the ending either. I thought the last chapter of Gears 4 was its weakest, and I don't feel the same about Gears 5. I think half of the chapter is really good. It has like some of the best firefights in the game, but man, they really need to decide whether they want to do big boss battles because they're fucking terrible.
I know.
Absolutely terrible. The last one is just horrendous. I just don't like it.
But you enjoy the game.
Oh yeah, overall it's probably up there as one of my favorite Gears campaigns. It's really good. I think the open world stuff works, but they could definitely work on it. Like make the spaces feel a bit more dynamic and filled in.
Yeah.
But I liked the character conversations
Between
in the open
all of
world, so
those.
that kept me entertained. But overall, I just want to play Horde now because apparently Horde is a good time.
I think there's a lot of
There's
life
so
in that
much
game.
content in that game.
too
It's
much.
unbelievable.
Damn. So you're going to do some Horde mode?
Yeah, you need to come play Horde mode
I
with
know.
me.
I think I might just bite the bullet and get Game
We'll
Pass.
be proper addicted to that. Like if you stream that, because it's like you have to try to survive 50 waves, and it gets intense.
It gets insane. Oh no.
and I've been reading up on it. The maps all have like dynamic elements to them. So previously in Horde mode, you had maps where it's like, oh, if you flip the switch, this part of the floor will go on fire or whatever. But this one uses weather effects. So there's a level in the campaign where you're in like this snowy mountain, and if enemies run over like frozen lakes, you can shoot the ice to like drop them in the water. So there's some Horde maps that have that, but there'll be some instances where like a wind will blow and then it will harden the ice, so you can't shoot it. So you've got it's really fucking
That's cool.
And then you'll have like storms that produce like lightning strikes and ice falling from the sky.
wow.
Like so, it's really
That's
dynamic.
awesome.
Yeah,
Damn, Daniel.
we need to play.
Well, one day.
So good.
You and John Mark will squad up.
So keen.
So I finished Celeste this weekend finally as well. I'm not going to spend too much time on it other
The
than
farewell
saying,
DLC.
Sorry, I finished the chapter 9, the farewell DLC. It took me more than 9 hours.
Damn.
And more than
For
3,000
free DLC,
deaths.
that's incredible. 3,000 deaths.
to finish
That's the
that.
thing. How does that compare to your main Celeste?
I actually have a
campaign?
screenshot. I'll find it quickly. But that DLC really
was tough,
tested me.
yeah.
It was difficult. But
And like you're good at that game. Like
no, look, people tell me I'm good at the game, but remember, whatever I share on Twitter is literally like after many, many, many deaths. It looks impressive because I did it the 1 out of like 100 times. So hang on, let me just find the screenshot quickly. There were a lot more deaths than I thought there would be. I honestly thought the DLC would be like 3-4 hours.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, when I heard, okay, it's a free DLC chapter, it's just one chapter, like that's sort of what I was expecting. 9 hours is like, this could be a sequel.
So the most deaths I had in any of the other chapters, I had 941 on a B-side level. But remember, those are much shorter.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a difficult thing to compare. I had
what's your total of the...
Oh, my total deaths overall.
Well, okay, so like your total minus the farewell.
I had like 8,000 deaths, I guess, and 32 hours played. Damn. 31 hours. So now my final numbers are, it's about 11,000 deaths and 39 hours played.
So the farewell one was almost like 40% of your total for the rest of the game. That's incredible.
It was about 25% of my...
Damn.
25% of my
That's
deaths.
Crazy. I really want to play it because just from your videos, it looks so demanding but so good as well.
Demanding. I think you have to do the B and C sides to
unlock it.
No, not to unlock it, but I think those equip you for the shit that lies ahead. Because it's not I mean, the first half of Chapter 9, I think anyone can do because it's standard Celeste, introduces new mechanics. It's still challenging, but it's not going to kill you. But then there's a point in the story where a door and you get locked behind a door, and that's what I said. You need a certain number of hearts to proceed past it, and I think those come from B and C sides. And after that point, holy shit balls! There are just some challenges where, but I mean that's one of the biggest reasons I love Celeste is that it's amazing how the gameplay links to the story that well. Where Madeline's like she's got anxiety, she feels like a lot of self-doubt. She can't do. Or she can't do or face whatever's in front of her. And honestly, it's the same thing. When you get into a room, you're like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I actually can't do this. And then you do it, you're like, damn.
So it's like you're basically overcoming her anxiety in the same way.
It's just really, really cool. Because honestly, there's so many rooms where I get to the end of it, I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
I felt that in the main game as well. Like so many times just looking at a room, as soon as you enter and you're like, there's no conceivable way I understand how this works.
And then you figure it out and then you execute it and
you just start like poking and prodding at the room and that's cool.
So it's a good time. Would recommend, and it's free if you've got Celeste.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
If you haven't played Celeste, oh man.
I'm very curious to see what Matt Thorsten and his what's his company's name?
I can't remember. Yeah, but they've sort of rebranded.
They've got a rebranded name. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they work on next. Because I'm always a fan of their stuff. So
they do some good stuff.
And they did say they aren't working on a Celeste 2. So.
It's called Extremely Okay Games.
Well, that is underselling themselves.
That is really underselling themselves. Their games are
extremely good games.
Yeah, extremely good games should have been their name. Other than Celeste, we've both been playing a little something.
Link's Awakening. The Legend of Zoldo.
Legend of Zoldo. Link's Awakening.
That image scarred me.
Why is that a meme?
I don't know, but it
just replaced every vowel with an O.
Yeah.
It's the Legend of Zoldo Link's Awakening.
I was just like...
Awoken.
Yeah, it should be just Awakening.
And in the face, it's just like a giant O mouth and then giant O eyes. Like, oh.
So weird. So weird.
But I'm not that far into the game. Maybe...
I've done the first dungeon.
I've done the first dungeon as well.
First dungeon was cute. Enjoyed that.
It's cool, yeah. It was
very straightforward, but good.
What do you get from that? You get a little flip jump ability. Are we thinking of the same?
Yeah. You get the flip jump and then you get the one music thing.
But first, context. So, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening.
It's basically...
full-on remake of the
1993
Game Boy
game, yeah. Because it was Link's Awakening DX, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then I think... So, there was Link's Awakening on the OG Game Boy. Then they did a deluxe edition for the Game Boy Color.
I think so, yeah.
So, now this is like 25 years later. There's a full-on ground-up remake. But the thing is, the game's pretty much the same. There've been one or two tweaks here and there, but as far as I know, it's the very same game, same dungeon, same everything.
Yeah, same overworld, same map structure. Yeah, it's a very faithful remake.
And honestly, it's very playable. It's really good.
It's crazy that a game of this scale came out in 93. That's the thing that just gets me.
And not only that it was on a handheld.
On a handheld back in 93.
This isn't like on the SNES, it's on a handheld back then. So I think what little power the Game Boy had back then, and that they fit this whole game. And from what I've heard, it's about a 14, 15, 16 hour
Yeah,
experience.
it's not like a super long,
But that's
Zelda,
long.
but pretty good.
Damn,
Pretty good.
for any game in general on a Game Boy. 16 hours.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
It's incredible. It's the same as like when I played Pokemon Let's Go, which is not really the same because that's a remake that's more like let's make it modern because it's completely different.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like visual style and like the way you control stuff, but it's also like just the scale. Like this Pokemon game existed in some form on a Game Boy back in the day.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
Games.
but Link's Awakening's cool. It's it's like got the same Legend of Zelda structure that I'm just like really familiar with now. It's like go here, you need some item to get past here, then you get a key for a dungeon, do the dungeon, and you just carry on.
Why am I wrong in saying that Legend of Zelda games aren't? No one ever refers to them as Metroidvanias.
But they really are.
Yeah, when I was playing this one, I really was thinking like, oh, there's a thing there. I can't get there, but I can. This is like in the starting area. I need an ability to get there, but I can't get there. I can come back. That's what makes a Metroidvania.
That's literally a Metroidvania.
You've got the whole map, but you can only access it when you have certain abilities.
Yeah.
I'm like, why has no one made this comparison? Or maybe people have, but in mainstream media, no one ever says like, wow, the new Legend of Zelda really pushes the.
Well, I mean, you've got like Metroidvania is like a genre defined by Castlevania and. Well, Castlevania Symphony of the Night and
Hollow Knight.
And Metroid. Yeah, and Hollow Knight, yeah. So there's so many games that ape its like structure completely. This one definitely feels like a Metroidvania.
That really struck me when I was playing. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm playing a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Also, Link's Awakening is like Legend of Zelda on an LSD trip because it's just like Link is on this island where nothing makes sense at all.
Yeah, the intro is literally Link's on a raft or a boat, wild storm. He wakes up on an island.
On a beach, yeah.
And just take him in. They're like, hey.
What's up? And the island's got like a mixture of characters from other Nintendo games. Like you've got Goombas from Mario, you've got Chain Chomps from Mario.
Yeah.
There's a Yoshi plushie that I got. That I apparently can give to someone. I gotta find who I can give.
I think it's in the village.
I spent way too much time playing that crane game.
There's a crane game I haven't tried yet.
Haven't you? Have you? So you've not seen? There's a house in the city that's got like a crane game where you can get a Yoshi plushie, you can get a piece of heart.
Okay, I must go back.
The dumb thing I did was one of the big things in that crane game was like the Hylian shield. So I was like, oh, I want that. So I got it, and it's like, this is a shield with you can write your name on it. I'm like, this is exactly the same shield that I have. And then I went to the shop next door and I can buy the same shield. So I'm like,
what's going on?
What's the point? Like,
I also noticed when I went to the shop, you can buy a shield. I was like, can your shield break?
Yeah, that's why I'm like really confused by it because I don't understand why there's so many shields.
I think it must though. Surely,
it must be a mechanic somewhere. Yeah. But that crane game is good. I burnt like 150 rupees playing that game.
Maybe I didn't play it because I started and I just walked straight out the village. I spoke to people, but I didn't have rupees to.
I did it after the first dungeon because I had so many rupees.
I haven't been back yet, so.
Oh, you haven't been back to the city?
No, I've literally just done
disaster there.
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
You got to go back. It's bad. Those chain chomps, man.
They were let loose and they ate everything.
No, you've got to save them. They've been kidnapped by moblins.
What? Really?
And the music is terrible. It's like this like really frantic, like emergency sounding music every time you're in the city because the lady's just like distraught that her chain chomps are gone.
Shut that.
The small one's still in the house going yip yip.
Yip.
So good.
Yeah, I didn't realize this game had. So there are certain parts in dungeons where there are 2D elements. I had no idea. Yeah, can you imagine? Sorry, just to drive the point home, you're playing this on a Game Boy, and then it's a top-down view, and then all of a sudden you're playing almost like a Mario-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like intense platforming, but the fact that there was that perspective shift, I was like, huh.
Yeah, like a side-scrolling.
That is really like an interest. Imagine playing this as a kid back in the day.
It was
even
super
as an adult,
weird,
whatever.
yeah.
It's like, damn, that's...
Don't you like jump on Goombas there as well?
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Mario, but I'm playing
what's going on here?
But I think we've probably mentioned before, but the reason, if you are wondering why does the Zelda have Mario stuff in it, I think it was at a time when Nintendo were trying to, I don't know, try new things or merge, have a little overlap in their franchises, and we had some Mario elements.
Just kind of like seeing what's stuck. It's pretty clever because it just happens on this island that is like super weird and completely detached from Hyrule, and so it avoids the messiness of like do Mario and Zelda exist in the same universe?
Yeah.
It's just like this is this weird one-off spin-off. But it's cool. It's got a very different feeling and a look to a Legend of Zelda game that is like completely distinct.
The redesign that they did with this game is awesome. So
I really like it. Yeah,
all the characters look almost like I don't know,
they look like
little
plastic
figurines
toys.
Yeah,
I really dig it.
and it's weird because everything in the world is super like distinct and it stands out. But then on the I suppose the border, there's a bit of a blur effect.
Yes,
And I think it leads.
it took a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, but I think it also leads to some performance issues. But visually,
Yeah.
it looks really, really good.
It's almost like everything's got this like shiny sheen on it. It's
It draws you in,
nice.
though. It's
Yeah.
really pretty to look at.
I really
I
like
can
it.
show it to anyone and they'll be like, wow, that's really, really
and
pretty
it gives the game a distinct look. Like when you see Breath of the Wild versus Majora's Mask versus Wind Waker, they all have a
different
look.
looks, yeah.
And I think now Link's Awakening this is the Link's Awakening look. Yeah.
Which is why we've said that there's going to be a fourth Link in Super Smash
Fuck,
Bros.
they better have Link's Awakening.
Link is coming.
Toy Link has joined the fight. You better.
Oh my word, imagine. With the same moveset, but not really. There'll be subtle differences.
You can do that little jump. That little
Sakurai
jump from the
just-
dungeon's good.
It's a little forward flip.
Yeah, just like whoop. But yeah, performance issues are super weird in a game like this.
I don't quite get it, to be honest. Like, I get it. I mean, is it a visually demanding game? Is it
I don't know. It bugs me because like these performance issues were there at E3 when I played it, and when I played it there, I was a bit more forgiving. Like, oh,
they'll work it out.
it's a demo.
Yeah.
They'll work it out. They've got like 5 months still, whatever. And even then, it was like just slight frame rate hiccups when you're transitioning to new areas of the map, whatever. But it's bad. Like, it's really noticeable.
The thing is, like, Nintendo games are known for their 60 frames, polish, whatever. But I do remember in Breath of the Wild, it ran perfectly. But there were once in a blue moon, there's
There
some
were
subtle,
areas,
frame
especially in
drops.
that Korok forest. It was pretty bad there.
But this game, I'm like, it's a 2D top down. It's very pretty. I don't know what's causing all the slowdown.
I have absolutely no idea. And it's like when you're in a dungeon or in the interior, it's not a problem. It's mainly on when you're in the more open world.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly just transitioning. Like when the camera has to shift to move the map, it like chugs a bit and then it's smooth again.
But even the my first thing when we started, you wake up in a house and you walk out and then you immediately greeted with like it's a 2 or 3 second load screen. It's not long, but when you're walking in and out of houses, like you walk into, let's say for argument's sake, four houses a minute, whatever. And every time there's that little subtle 2-3 seconds, it's almost like I don't
It's
want
a
to
bit jarring. Yeah.
So I don't get it, but it doesn't break the game overall. It's just like
It
it's just
no.
a hiccup in a otherwise really fun
It's
game.
just annoying because it doesn't seem like the sort of game where this should be happening.
I don't like we say. We've said I don't. Well, I've said I don't know why it happens.
And I just don't get it because like Mario Odyssey came out in the first year of the Switch, and that game is like a much bigger world.
It's flawless.
And it's like
it
is flawless.
There are
Like,
no
it really
frame
is.
drops at all.
I don't understand why this is the game that it struggles.
I wonder if that's the sort of thing they can fix, because like you said at E3 you thought, okay, there are a few performance issues, they'll patch it out or whatever, but no, that was months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're really concerned about the performance or whether they care that it's a huge issue. So I don't
We'll
know.
see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's irrespective of that, like I don't think that should keep you away from playing it. I think it's a great game. Yeah, and definitely worth. For some reason, I've been seeing discourse online about people saying it shouldn't be a $60 game, and it's just like, I don't get that.
I think some people have been saying like it's a remake of an old game, but I'm like, yeah, but
So was Resident Evil 2, man.
It's a full-on ground-up remake.
Yeah.
And like, sorry, okay, now that you mentioned Resident Evil 2, yeah, you get good value for money because you get 2 campaigns and it's like, let's say 8 hours each, 16 hours if that's all you're doing. No one had a problem with that.
No.
This game, from what I've heard, is also 14, 15, 16 hours, and people are like, no, it should have been cheaper.
I don't get that because like it is a ground up remake. It's not like, oh, they just swapped out assets and
They
it's a
didn't just
remaster.
port the stuff over,
whatever.
yeah.
And hell, even when we get like remasters like PS3 to PS4, those end up coming out $60 anyway. So yeah, I don't get that. It's a full on Zelda game. It's not like a subpar thing at all. I think it's well worth what it's costing. I mean, It's expensive locally. It's like $900.
I think it's $1,000 locally.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm not saying $60 is not a lot of money, but like I don't understand the argument that it's like, oh,
It should be
value wise
nothing,
it should be less. I'm like, I don't get that.
No.
Yeah.
It's a good time though. If you have a Switch, would recommend.
Would recommend, especially on a Switch Lite. Tell me about your Switch Lite.
It's so pretty.
So you've got a Switch Lite.
Oh my god! So I've got a yellow Switch Lite. It's a good
Pikachu
time.
Lite.
What?
Pikachu Lite.
Pikachu Lite. I did put a little Pokemon thumbsticks on, which is a good time. So it's a Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
That must be so weird because the one is yellow, so it blends.
It blends
and then
in
the other one's
nicely,
brown. It's like, huh.
The Switch Lite, I don't know. It's
I should
so
just
weird.
give you my yellow one and then you pair them up.
It's a Let's Go Pikachu Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the best Pikachu.
I've had no issue with the OG Switch. I mean, we both have it. We've used it for years now. But
Shit, we have, eh?
after holding the Switch, so this is what I do. I give a person the OG Switch. I say, hold this. And I take it away.
I saw you do this with
I
Lens
say,
yes.
now hold this. And it's immediately, it's like, oh, it is so much lighter and it's so much smaller and more ergonomic and that. And like, I just want to stress the point, there's nothing wrong with the OG Switch. It really is like, it's still probably one of my favorite systems ever made and it works. But just moving to the Switch Lite, it's so much more comfortable. And it's nicer to take into bed. I don't feel like I'm going to drop it on my face. My wrists don't get sore. Well, I mean, not that my wrists really got sore, but it's just more comfortable to play, essentially.
I mean, I think to me, it's just the weight that's a big
just
factor,
the weight, yeah. I mean, and throw in extra battery life, and it's really awesome. I'm really happy with it.
So you can't dock it to the TV, and it's a bit smaller.
No, and actually, you know why you can't dock it to? You know why you can't put it in the dock? It's such a funny / silly thing because I was like, it's USB-C. Why can't I just use my same dock to charge it? It's too small to fit in the dock.
Do the thumbsticks
Because the thumbsticks hit the thing.
I suspected that might be an
didn't
issue.
cross my mind at all. I was like, I'm going to put it in. I was like, oh, of course it won't fit. Like, how stupid am I? Yeah, but so as awesome as the Switch Lite is, it has presented a dilemma to me, or I suppose to anyone who plans to use it as a second system.
Yes, this is what I want to hear about because I've read so many articles now about how much of a pain it is to set up secondary and primary switches and the kind of like pros and cons between them.
So if you don't have a Switch, you want to buy a Switch Lite, cool. Don't even just fast forward 5 minutes. This conversation's not for you. But if you've got an OG Switch and you're looking to have a secondary Switch to use, so like you're going to keep your one docked and you're just going to have your one to take with you on the road or wherever, it is a bit of a nightmare because like you said, you need to have like a primary console, secondary console, and then so you can have access to your whole game library. That's fine. But I haven't quite figured out how saves work, like cloud saves, that sort of thing. So, for argument's sake, if I'm playing Link's Awakening on my TV,
Link's
Awakening on my TV, and I decide, cool, I want to go to bed, but I'm gonna, take my Switch Lite just because I can.
Yeah.
I don't know how those saves translate, and I haven't quite figured it out yet, and I don't know if it is possible. It should be.
So my understanding on that side of it is, firstly, not all games support cloud saves, which is bizarre.
Which is a weird thing,
then you need a Nintendo Switch Online account to even access cloud saves.
Yeah.
And then the saves aren't synced automatically.
No, you have to do it manually.
You have to go in and manually say, pull my cloud saves.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to do cloud saves, you can do a transfer, but the transfer is one way.
Yeah.
So as soon as you transfer the save from one Switch to another, it deletes it from the source.
I had a mini heart attack the other day. So just on that, you can't take your memory card you can't take a memory card from one Switch to the other.
Can't you?
The moment you put it in, you have to format it.
What?
Which
That's
is like,
ridiculous.
It's just like, why?
That's ridiculous.
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
Same. It's like a different console, inverted commas, but it's the same software.
That's ridiculous. You can take a hard drive connected to your Xbox and plug
exactly,
into another
it
Xbox
works
and it
fine.
works. Yeah.
So if you think like, okay, I've got all my games on my original Switch, but I've got a flight next week, whatever, I'm gonna just pop in my memory card.
Man,
no, you have to re-download that shit.
Oh, come on.
So you're looking at buying an extra memory card, unfortunately, for your other Switch.
Okay, those are pretty cheap nowadays. So okay.
Yeah, but it's still
It's
like,
annoying.
come on.
It's annoying. Yeah.
And so what I was getting at is I had a mini heart attack because I moved my memory card from my original Switch to the Switch Lite, and I was like, I have to re-download stuff. Okay. Re-download Celeste, started up, my save game's not there. And I think like, oh shit, I just formatted this memory card. Did I just format my save game as well? Thankfully, I hadn't.
No.
So on my save games still seem to be on my original Switch. I don't think that's saved to the memory card. I don't know if there's an option to do it to memory card, but I think all my save games are on the actual system memory.
Okay.
But it's like, it shouldn't be this complicated. And I don't know why Nintendo make it such a thing of, like, I get it for, I suppose, for maybe like piracy, not piracy, but getting around the thing of like you buy one copy of a game, you can play it, which you can do, by the way. Let me tell you. So I've set up that if Lenska and I, for example, wanted to both play Stardew Valley, she can launch the game on one of the Switches and I can launch it on the other, and we can both play. Having only bought one digital copy of Stardew Valley.
So how does that work? Have you made the Switch Lite your primary?
The Switch Lite. So let me explain that. So sorry, I know this is very technical, but if you got a Switch, you're gonna need to know this.
It's complicated.
So the way it works is that if you have two Switches, one of them has to always have an internet connection.
Yeah.
To just check that you actually own the system, that sort of thing. It wants to check that you own these games.
That's your secondary.
That's your secondary. Your primary one doesn't need an internet connection. Okay. So the way to get around that is that you make your Switch Lite the primary console, because you're not always going to be connected to the internet. So you want to play your games on a flight, on a train, whatever. But then now my original Switch is my secondary Switch because it's at home and it's got an internet connection. Okay. So, but it does let you do things, and I think Nintendo have sort of like turned a blind eye to this. They've sort of just let it be in that I can buy one copy of a game and Lenska and I can both play it.
So I'm curious as to how that works, because like I know so when your Switch is primary, any other accounts on that Switch can play the game.
Yeah. So
but on the secondary, it has to be the Nintendo account. And I've heard that if the primary is playing the game, if the primary launches a game, and then the secondary tries to launch it, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Okay, so the way it works is so just for argument's sake, I'm going to use the example of Lenska now. I think let me just think about it. On the secondary Switch, she launches it on her account. On the primary Switch, I launch it on my account.
But then how's she launching it on the secondary Switch?
Or it's the other way around. I don't know. It's almost like a little loophole. But I've only tested it with Stardew Valley though, and it works. But here's the thing: I'll try to do co-op together, and then it says no. There's only one copy of this game
being shared between
two people.
Oh, so then it's probably the account thing. So it can't be like your account on the primary playing the same game as the one on the secondary. So then someone else you need to use a different account on the primary to play that game, and then it won't suspend it. I'm assuming
I don't know. It's the thing of the moment I try to join a multiplayer game that I've created, it says like no.
That makes sense, I guess. Which I mean, it's a bit annoying because like Xbox doesn't do that. If you had to compare this to like PS4 and Xbox sharing, they kind of work on the same principle where you have a primary and a secondary device. And I know on PS4, it's like a matter of like you and me swapping credentials, setting my account as primary on your PlayStation and vice versa. So then we run into the same issue. If I'm playing if I want to play downloaded games on my account, I need to be connected to the internet.
Yeah.
And the same with you. Whereas on Xbox, it's like you share an account with someone and you do the same thing, primary and secondary, but we can play the same copies of the same games. We can have a single copy that we both play online together.
But doesn't PlayStation let you do that? Because don't Craig and Sage...
PlayStation also lets you do that, because...
it's okay. You're saying you can do it.
You can do it on PlayStation as well. Like you said, Craig and Sage often play multiplayer games together on a copy that they've shared. Nintendo doesn't allow it. Like, okay, to be fair, what we are doing is not really what the system is built for. It's built for families, so if you have multiple consoles in the same house, but it allows for this, and, there's very strict rules around it, but I'm pretty sure Sony and Microsoft are well aware of what people are using it for. But Nintendo, I mean, maybe Nintendo's just like, we aren't going to do that. But at the same time, they've put themselves in this corner where if someone has two Switches like you own two Switches and it's meant for you and Lenska, like this shouldn't be as difficult as it is.
Well, look, the fact that, so if we both want to play a game in the future, it's nice to know that I can buy, well, If you buy a physical copy, you can't do that because obviously you have to like now move the copy between the switches. Okay, but if you buy a digital copy of a game, you can both play it, which I think is really cool. And it doesn't just apply to us. If you have 2 kids, for example, you now no longer have to be like, well, they have to share a game, or we have to buy 2 copies of the game. You can buy 1 digital copy of Link's Awakening, and as far as from what I've tested, you can play on both switches at the same time.
But the physical copy doesn't negate the issues around save games.
No, I don't know.
Get stored on the cartridge?
I need to. I don't think they do. I need to test. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. Well, I mean, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
I must test it out. Yeah,
because I know on the 3DS that's how saves are carried.
I somehow don't think it applies on the Switch because remember the 3DS, the darts were saving directly to the card. I don't know if this is the same thing. I could be wrong. Maybe it is a read-write
card. It would be cool if it kind of
yeah.
did both. So if you were like, oh, I want to play this physical game on the Switch Lite, now you pop it in and you've got the save there. That'd be pretty cool.
Look, the Switch Lite, it's an interesting conversation. And like I say, if you don't have a Switch, I
definitely think it's like you need to have a hard conversation with yourself and be like, am I ever going to dock this thing? No, get a Switch Lite.
Yeah, and honestly, it's much cheaper, and it's really nice.
Almost half the price.
But if you want to dock your Switch and you want to have like people play like one of the big things is that if you buy a Switch Lite, it's not as easy to play multiplayer.
Yeah, it's
whereas the Switch, you buy one Switch, you all of a sudden have 2 controllers, a lot of co-op opportunities,
and it's also like your things can come off. You've got a kickstand to
play.
So,
but if you have the OG Switch and you're looking to have a second Switch Lite, just know that there are some.
Yeah, you need to be aware.
There are some hurdles, and like I still haven't quite sat down to figure them out yet.
There's a great Kotaku article which goes through like all the different permutations and also all the disastrous like effects of like not doing your saves correctly. What it can do.
No.
So I would definitely go look at that if you're struggling with this. Yeah, it's just confusing. I don't get it. Something else people have been asking me. Well, I've seen conversations on Twitter about it. They're like, "Oh, is the Switch Lite? How's performance on the Switch Lite?" It's like it's the same chip.
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing.
But this is a thing though, where like I don't begrudge Nintendo for calling it a Switch Lite because it technically is a lighter Switch.
Yeah,
but the way they're naming conventions and stuff, there's this pattern for confusing people.
Yeah.
Like when the Wii came out, it's like, this is our new console, it's the Wii. Then the next gen came out, it's the Wii U. And a lot of people looked at it and thought, oh, I already have a Wii, I don't need a Wii U. Not realizing that, no, they've jumped ahead a generation.
It's like a whole new console, yeah.
So like, I can understand the average consumer being like, okay, there's the Switch and the Switch Lite. Okay, the Switch Lite obviously isn't as strong as the Switch because it's called the Lite, So yeah, there's that confusion. But if you are having that question, they're
the same.
Bar like a very small percentage of games that require Joy-Cons, you can play every game on the Switch Lite.
And it's like it's got the same performance as the portable mode of the normal OG Switch. It's like that's what it is. Some people even say they prefer the screen because it's smaller, but it has the same resolution.
You made a good point, is that it's the same resolution, but because it's smaller, things might pop a little bit more.
Yeah, they look a bit crisper. So because it's both they both run at 720p. So and then your battery life is obviously a lot better because you're only playing it in portable mode and stuff like that. So yeah, it's the same Tegra chip in there. The performance is identical.
Although, see, this is where things get a little bit more confusing. If you locally are looking to buy the original Switch, okay, there is a revised original Switch which includes this new chip.
Yes, which has a more power efficient,
which has more battery life in dock mode.
Yeah.
So I don't know, some retailers
in portable mode, you mean?
In portable mode. So I know at Comic-Con, for example, I think Incredible Connection had like the original Switch for like $5,999. It was like a grand cheaper.
$5,999 with a game, yeah.
And then the revised Switch for $6,999, whatever. Which is it's the same thing, but it's got slightly better battery life.
Yeah, it's again the thing of like they're probably just getting rid of old stock.
Yeah.
The good thing is that you can tell the difference from afar. Like the original box is white, the new one is red.
Yeah,
that's simple.
And it opens up a nice little opportunity because if you're not bothered about battery life, and to be honest, the original Switch, the battery life's fine.
I've found it really good.
If you want an extra hour battery life, cool, you can drop the extra grand. But if you're looking to buy a Switch now, the launch units are a little bit cheaper.
Honestly, I mean, I've taken it on flights with me and whatever, and of course I carry around a battery pack with me as well. But you'll have to do that even with the revised model because the revised one in portable mode, I think if you compare
hours,
two games like Zelda, because Zelda was the big the one like
Breath of the Wild,
it only lasts an hour and a half or whatever. I think on this new one it lasts like 3 hours. So you're still
but it didn't last an hour and a half even.
It lasted a bit longer.
It was
I
like
thought,
2 to 3 hours, I'd say, which was fine. Cool. No, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I don't know. I've never found an issue with that, but I also I swap between portable and docked a lot. So I don't know if it's as much of an issue to me, but I don't feel the need to go out and get a revised one. But if you are buying a new one, I think that's a good conversation to have with yourself.
Yeah, a lot of conversations to have with yourself about Switch. Jeez,
Good.
yeah, but that's all the games and the hardware and the Comic Cons this week.
Should we get to?
Let's get to some
Gomez
game releases. Damn,
son.
What is out this week? Some good
we're looking at
stuff.
games coming out from the 28th of September to the 5th of October. Holy
Can you
shit.
believe we're in October?
Yeah.
Do you know that it's less than 2 months to Christmas? Just let that sink in. It's nearly less than 2 months until 2020.
It's too much.
2020 vision, the year of sight.
The year of seeing.
The year of seeing.
Okay, most of the games are basically out coming this week in October. So we've got Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition coming to Switch on October 1st. Got Call of Duty Mobile, Android and iOS, October 1st, and now with controller support. Yeah. Good times.
You can own people and insult their moms on your mobile device.
I mean,
don't do
it
that.
wouldn't be Call of Duty without that. What the Golf is out on PC October 1st.
You've played that on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
It's hilarious and I like it a lot. Wait, this can't be right. Ghost Recon Breakpoint Gold Ultimate Early Access.
It's early access, isn't it? Like the beta or something?
It must be a beta because I think the game's only out
It's like
at
2
the
weeks
end of
or-
October.
Oh, is it at the end of October?
Unless I'm wrong. Hold on.
No, I think it is.
No, Ghost Recon Breakpoint's out on October 4th.
What?
That's this
Damn,
Friday.
that's this Friday.
Holy shit.
I didn't realize it was that close.
I honestly did not realize it was that close. Okay. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep out on October 1st, which is really cool. That's the new DLC, new big expansion. And along with that, we get Destiny 2 New Light, which is basically their free-to-play version, which will take you up to everything before Forsaken, which was the last DLC. And then you can buy those and bolt it on, yeah. So, and that's where it's now converted to Steam from the Blizzard launcher because Bungie's independent now.
Oh,
so yeah, you should do your save swaps and you can do your crossplay swaps as well. So very excited for some more Destiny in my life.
Well, can we look at the name of the next game? You know, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world.
Wow, that's weird.
That is a weird name.
You know, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world.
Okay,
That's a very long title.
What a convoluted title.
Warsaw coming to PC on October 2nd. This game looks cool.
What the hell is Warsaw?
It's like World War II Darkest Dungeon. So like card battling.
Set in old Poland.
Yeah, set in old Poland in Warsaw
Poland.
during World War II.
Damn.
Looks pretty cool.
That's cool.
Neocab, which is also out on Apple Arcade already, but it's coming to PC and Switch on October 3rd. It's like an adventure game where you're one of the last human cab drivers in this like near future world.
What a dilemma to have.
You're the only human cab
How are
driver.
people going to get around? Uber doesn't exist.
It's
You're the last
it's
cab
like when
driver.
Uber takes over humans and then starts making humans drive them around.
Oh, wow. I don't want to live in that world.
The Tiny Bang Story coming to Switch October 4th. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, PC, PS4,
I had
Xbox
no
One,
idea it was
October
out this
4th.
week.
Yeah, very surprising to me. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, October 4th. That game was good.
I
That game
never
was
played
like
it.
Gears
Yeah,
of
I
War
think-
Ghostbusters, and it was good.
Damn, that's cool. And that's it. Wow, that's actually.
Oh yeah,
not
that's
the
it. Next week,
week, though.
Concrete Genie.
I saw that at Comic-Con. So I know what Concrete Genie is and what it's about. I've never seen any gameplay, looked at any art for that matter, and seeing it in action at Comic-Con. Oh man, it's a pretty
looks
looking
cool,
game.
eh?
It looks like a good time.
I'm very
Concrete
excited.
Genie.
Concrete Genie. There's a lot of games out the week after. You've got Concrete Genie, Tron 4, Ukulele, John Wick.
Oh, John Wick Hex. Nice.
That game's good. That game is fucking
John
good.
Wick Hex.
I'm very excited for that. So
Do you play it at E3?
played at E3. I was blown away by it. So good.
Okay. Off to news we go.
Off to good news.
Good news. What was the news this week? Let's
the big news was Last of Us 2. Why am I not connected to the internet?
Why does the internet do this to us, Cabot? Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
Last of Us 2 was, it wasn't announced. We knew it was coming, but we got a new trailer.
Yep.
We got a release date. It's coming in Feb.
Yep.
Was it Feb?
21st.
21st.
Yeah,
okay.
21st of Feb 2020, which is not as far away as you think it is.
2020 is looking real stacked. I mean, how many more games can they squeeze into that first 4 months?
Well, what we got in February, we've got new Ori, we've got Last of Us.
Yeah.
March
is
Final
Fantasy VII Remake. In April
Cyberpunk.
And obviously there's a lot more games in that. But those, Watch Dogs
March,
is there.
I think, as well.
But it's like those are already 5. Okay, a lot of people give me shit for Ori, but it's 5.
Oh no, it's big games. It's 5 big titles
coming out, and it's like, damn, it's just. Yeah. Last of Us 2, though, it looks really
Dying
good.
Light 2 is also in the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Yeah,
It's insane.
There's a lot of shit going on.
So what did you think of not Dying Light, the Last of Us 2 trailer?
Man, really, really good. Really good.
So excited for that game.
And then straight after that, about 2 days after that, there were hands-on impressions because
I haven't read any of them.
Yeah, Naughty Dog finally let press play the game, about 4 hours of it, and man, those impressions are
they good?
They're good. I never told you I turned off the fridge.
Oh shit!
Matty's had his Red Bull in the fridge forever.
It's still cold.
Yeah, I turned it off because I had nothing in there,
nothing.
so it's just wasting electricity. My bad.
So funny.
So yeah, I've read a few previews. One that's really good is Phil Hornshaw's one on GameSpot. It's really in depth, really, really good.
Damn.
The thing that I gleaned from it is that they've made some small, subtle changes to the gameplay systems. Like, you no longer craft shivs for stealth kills. Ellie just carries around a switchblade now.
Couldn't Joel have just found a switchblade?
Listen, man, Joel's an old man, old dog, new tricks.
Old dog, damn.
Also, one other thing is in terms of enemies, you now have to compete with dogs who are able to pick up your scent, so follow you. As far as I can tell, the game also seems a lot more mobile. You're encouraged to move around a lot more and run out of danger a lot more, and you can use things like tall grass to hide, and Ellie can kind of get into places. But it's also meant to feel very unsettling. One of the things that interested me the most was all the NPCs have names.
Yeah.
So in fights, they will all call out specific names, and when you kill certain ones, they will cry out that name in anguish. Yeah, it's not just NPC number 100. So it's meant to make you feel uneasy of all the killing you do.
It's actually funny that you mention that because I don't know, that's never crossed my mind. You know, that whenever you just getting rid of someone that it's named. I mean, in games we know it's NPC 100.
They kind of don't even react.
No one. Yeah, it's oh no, person died. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
This I think. Well, from everything we've seen in this game, it's going to be a heavy game.
Yeah,
it looks
intense.
There's no getting around it. It's going to be an intense game, and I don't know. It's not going to be lighthearted in any way.
I mean, the trailer already alluded to some really hectic things.
But not even just this trailer. Every trailer that we've seen before has been oh damn, this is a hectic world, you know.
Yeah,
so
it's ruthless, and Ellie's out for revenge, and it's also what Naughty Dog is saying there is their biggest and most ambitious game yet. They're saying it's their longest single player game ever made.
Shit, I mean that's
insane because a lot of their games are the first Last of Us is a long game. So there's sections there where you see Ellie on a horse, so you don't know if there's maybe little open worldish sections. Yeah. But as a result of the game being so big, Last of Us Part 2 won't have multiplayer, which is kind of sad because the multiplayer factions were pretty cool in the first one, but I'm also not surprised because Last of Us 2 puts in multiplayer, then people play it for a week, and then they go back to Fortnite or Call of Duty or...
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It seems like a lot of investment for something that will maybe not really hit that hard. Yeah. That's that.
Oh, I'm excited. February. Oh, yeah, but that trailer also ended with a little certain someone. So turn your ears off if you haven't played Last of Us 1.
Joel's back.
Okay, Joel's back. We didn't know where he was.
Yeah, we didn't know where he was, but he's back.
He looks grizzled AF.
Yeah, he looks old. Old.
That was a really cool reveal, though. I enjoyed that.
Talking about other trailers, we got a new trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which looks real good.
This damn game, okay, when they showed it at E3, we spoke about this, where they showed the gameplay showcase, I was like, wow, I feel nothing for this game. And then the following day, I watched a trailer and I was like, damn, I'm excited for this game. And I'm like, it's a trailer. I've seen the game. It doesn't speak to me, whatever. Because it just didn't look, to me, it didn't look
it
that
looked
great.
really slow, yeah.
But then this trailer came out, I'm like, oh man.
This trailer is good.
I'm hyped for this game.
Yeah.
But like, it's a thing that we've spoken about where the gameplay apparently doesn't look good. Like it doesn't translate well visually, and it doesn't convey how good it feels. Which, like, it's been compared to Sekiro or
I think that's
those
why,
sort of Dark Souls games.
Very slow, methodical combat, which doesn't suit really like fast-paced E3 trailers.
Yeah. So look, I'm cautiously optimistic because maybe the game isn't that great, but shit, the trailers are doing a good job of making me hyped. And
it's got this Metroidvania setup where you travel between planets looking for things that you need, and then that's like Sekiro combat to go on with it, and then it's like Respawn is a good developer. I think if EA is going to hit it home with the Star Wars game finally, this might be this one. Yeah. So
look, I really hope it's good. We need a good Star Wars. Yeah, the trailer was honestly really good.
The duel between the main guy, what's his name?
No,
Cal
Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh.
Yeah, no, not Qui-Gon Jinn. There's no Liam Neeson in this game.
He was too busy running and saving his daughter.
Yes, yeah. That fight with him and the ninth sister, the like big bad, looked really intense.
When that trailer started, I was like, "Is that Darth Vader?"
It did sound. There was a sound out there that sounded like him. So,
goddamn. But
it does take place between episodes 3 and 4, so definitely Darth Vader territory.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a little cameo there somewhere.
The one thing that got me, because I can't really remember the heads-up display from the gameplay demo, but when I was watching the gameplay in this trailer, it looked like your little robot buddy on your back has this like green light on it. And
I think it's a health bar.
If they make that the health, that would be
It's Dead Space all over again.
I'm like, please do that. That is such a clever way to do that.
That's cool.
I love UI that's integrated into the world, as opposed to
showing
overlay,
you.
When
is that out? November?
November, yeah.
And November's not far. It's so close. By the time you listen to this, we're basically in October. November's next month.
Dude, it's getting there.
Oh my gosh.
Dragon Ball Z Fighter's got another Goku in the form of Gogeta.
There's too many.
Vegeta and Goku combined.
Get out. Who would have thought?
Medal of Honor is making a comeback. How's this?
But not quite in the way you think.
Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is a VR exclusive, also made by Respawn, surprisingly. They've been rumored to be working on a shooter VR game for ages now. And
so is this it?
Yeah, this is it. I just really didn't know it would be Medal of Honor of all things.
Interesting.
Well, I guess considering it's an EA-owned property and they are now owned by EA.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that's coming to Oculus Rift hardware soon.
Surprised.
Oh my god.
GTA 5 is the best-selling PlayStation.
Is that
4?
Darren's header? Of course it's Darren's header. Gingerbread man. Gingerbread man holding up a convenience store.
I'm so confused.
It's fantastic. Part of the Medal of Honor thing, Oculus had their big annual conference this week.
Oh, yeah.
And some cool things came out of that. The Oculus Quest, which is their standalone VR headset, is getting 2 big updates. One in November is called Oculus Link, which will allow you to connect the Oculus Quest to a PC, which you previously couldn't do, and play more demanding VR software.
That's cool.
Because the Oculus Quest obviously has
its own processor, yeah.
So that basically, to me, eradicates the need for the Rift S, which was basically the Oculus Quest, but you had to be linked up to a PC. Then next year, they are introducing hand and finger tracking.
This is wild.
At no additional... So it's a software thing that's going to use the cameras on the Quest that are existing there, and you'll not need to have controllers. It will just track your hands.
That is really cool.
Very cool.
Imagine, I mean... So the thing about if you hold a controller, there are limitations, like there are certain buttons, you can only do them certain ways. Your hands, though, you've got 5 fingers, you can manipulate them in a variety of ways. So I'm excited to see how they translate this into experiences.
I think that also opens it up to more...
It's more
like working experiences
Yeah.
as well. Like you can do a lot more than just games now that you don't have these controllers purpose built for games. So yeah, it's also cool that these are just like 2 software updates that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like so existing owners get it, and to me now, who I've been thinking about getting a Quest for ages, I'm like now like
Yeah.
it's not a choice now between the Rift S or the Quest. It's like I'll get the
Just
Quest.
yeah.
Because
Which is
I can-
a lot more affordable
I
as
can
well.
play that shit on my PC, and I can play Beat Saber in my garden if I want to.
Please do that.
Yes, I need to do that and record.
All your dogs will sit in a circle around you, be like, what is he doing?
Humans, man, weird as fuck.
Oh no.
Final Fantasy VII got a bit of flack this week because they revealed its box art, which is gorgeous. It is a great throwback.
It's that iconic Cloud looking at, I suppose, Shinra Tower
Yeah.
with the sword on his back.
His sword is like, I'm ready to fuck shit up.
Yeah, no, it's that, but, with the new look and feel of the modern remake.
The problem is that there's nowhere on the box that kind of says this is only a part of the whole game.
It just says Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Which there was a lot of arguments about whether this is misleading or not. I think it's very misleading. I think for people who don't keep up with mainstream news and whatever.
I was just going to say it's not misleading to you and I because we know that they've said no, it's coming out in parts. But if you're a random person walking into a store and you go, oh shit, Final Fantasy VII got a remake.
Yeah.
You buy it and you you play the game and you get to the end. I'm assuming it'll end sort of around, it's Midgar. We know,
yes,
but we don't know to what extent where it cuts you off. But imagine the original game, Midgar was like the first 8, 10, 12 hours, which is still quite substantial. But it's like you're going to get to the end of that and the game's going to end. You're like, what?
Yeah, and
where's the rest of the world?
They're padding this out so that it isn't just 10 hours. So it's like
there'll be other stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's where the argument comes in. They're like, well, this is a fully fledged Final Fantasy game, so it's not really I don't know. It's weird because it's not the full story.
No.
It's not the full story. You're going to have to buy another copy of the game to finish the story. So I think,
unless. So imagine you've got no touch points with this franchise, okay? And you play it and you get to the end, you're like, oh shit, like this game is amazing. You have no idea that there's a great, there's a greater story, but the credits roll like, damn, I can't wait for the next one. And the next one is Final Fantasy VII and they call it something else like
Remake 2.
Rebirth or whatever, like whatever they call it.
So
but it is
they
still
do like a Final Fantasy 13 thing with
it's
it?
basically, it's maybe that's what they're going for. So this is remake, just to people know, it's the remake, but then they give the other titles that follow just a name that's relevant to whatever happens in the story.
Like sure.
Final Fantasy VII Chocobo Farm.
Yeah.
You never know. And that whole game, you're just on the Chocobo Farm.
I
don't know.
guess if no one knew what the full story was up front, they could definitely do that, and you wouldn't know.
It's establishing
probably.
as like a franchise, because then if the game ends at Midgard, they can leave it on like a cliffhanger, for example, and you go, oh shit, I can't wait for the next game. I don't know. Like, I also think just call it Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1.
Yeah.
It's
Part
really...
1,
But then again, in terms of messaging, like, you'll get people who'll be like, well, I might as well just wait for all of them.
Yeah.
You're going to wait a long time for all of them.
I definitely see the point coming from Square Enix where they would be apprehensive to do that, especially when they know that, well, they've been saying that this is like a 30, 40-hour game. Like, why put people off by saying Part 1 with a game that is just as long as most main Final Fantasy? So I get that. I just feel a bit icky with, like, knowing that it is an episodic remake and then not making that clear to the people who are most vulnerable to make the mistake of not knowing. Like, this doesn't bug me because I know I'm going to play this game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it in March because I really want to play it. Being Part 1 doesn't make a difference. But, like, yeah, it could backfire. Like, it could be, it could work out in the way you say, where people go, oh, I can't wait for the next one. Or they get to the end and go, well, that ended abruptly.
Yeah,
like,
wait, what the hell?
What happened? Yeah, I thought this was a full story.
I'm very interested because the Final Fantasy VII came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole new generation of people that are going to play it. And I'm curious, like, what are they going to say? What are we going to say? I mean, we've played it, but it's a remake. I don't know. It's interesting.
That combat looks so good, though.
It looks
oh my
good.
goodness,
I can't wait.
I'm
the last trailer, so I've been excited for it, but I'm very good with keeping my expectations in check. Like, humble brag. Like, I'll be excited for a game. Like,
you're a robot.
Like, I'm a robot. So I'm excited for Ori sequel, but I know I'll wait. I'm very patient, and I don't sit and go like, oh man, I hope it comes out soon. But with the remake, I was the same. It's like, oh, cool, that's coming. I'm excited for it. It's cool.
This is a lie, by the way. Every time I go to E3, you're like, give me Ori news.
No, yeah, so I want... no, because we didn't have a release date. So it's like, I know it's coming, but I don't know when it's coming.
Okay.
So but with remake, it's like, it's cool, it's coming, whatever. But then I watched the last trailer, and I was like, March cannot come soon enough.
Hell yeah.
It's far. I
It's
need
looking
it.
good. It's,
I really need it.
a new rating... Ooh. A new rating 4-4.
4-4.
Mistakes. For Red Dead Redemption 2 hints at a possible PC release soon. I mean, to me that makes sense considering they just
GTA
had a Rockstar launch on PC. So if that's not heralding a PC release of Red Dead 2,
I cannot wait to see this game on PC.
oh yeah, it's gonna.
Because I mean, remember GTA 5 as an example came out on last gen, and it worked, no problem. And then the remaster versions came out, and they still worked fine. But seeing it on PC with mods and just everything turned up,
that's the thing. The mod support, in GTA 5 is unreal.
It's like the game is really beautiful. So I
can't wait to see what
it looks
do.
like.
Yeah. Fortnite is adding bots and better skilled player matchmaking. So like if you're not skilled or you're just starting Fortnite, you'll be popped into lobbies populated by a few bots, so you can kind of get a feel of.
That's interesting because wasn't it like that for Fortnite? No, I'm thinking of PUBG
did
Mobile.
that on mobile.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
clever,
remember playing PUBG Mobile when it first launched, and I was like getting 15 kills.
I was like,
this is not normal.
People suck at this.
Yeah, people really fucking suck at this. So yeah, so that's happening. I think it's good to onboard players fairly easily. So yeah.
Who reviewed the Search 2? Did they like it?
It was Brad. Yeah, Search 2 is getting really, really good reviews, which I'm pretty happy about because I think that studio behind those games, especially the first Search, they really, really tried to nail it with the first one to get that Dark Souls formula, but just didn't.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Search 2 really hits it home in a much better way.
That's cool. So where's that PlayStation article you just scrolled?
Oh yeah,
up?
PlayStation's going green, or the PS5 is going green.
So yeah, they've committed to lowering carbon emissions with the PS5. But I laughed because I'm like, that's cool. Immediately the following day, Microsoft plans to make over 800,000 new Xbox consoles that are certified carbon neutral.
Ooh.
I was like, damn. It was like a direct response. Or
that PR person was like, motherfucker.
The PR person's like, shit. I knew I should have put this out last week.
Because like you said the other day when we were chatting about this isn't a decision you just make on the fly. It's definitely been in the works.
You don't just wake up and go, oh shit, Sony's committed to being greener. We're going to do 800,000 new Xbox consoles that are carbon neutral. It's like, no, that's been planned. And it's like, damn, I should have pushed the button like a week ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now it looks like you're reacting like, hey, we're green as well. Like, come on, I
haven't wanted to facepalm my hand through my head hard enough than I have this week.
Why?
It's just like some of the replies to PlayStation going greener with their PS5, and people are like, "Guess I'm getting an Xbox because I want the full power of this console."
No, man.
Are you fucking joking?
Well, then you just need the Xbox to come out.
It's literally on Twitter, like people are like, "No, fuck this bullshit. I want the full power of this console. I don't want to be held back." It's like, did you people not read?
No one reads. This is
They're
why
reducing emissions in standby mode because, it is a well-known fact that electronics in standby mode consume
power,
way too much electricity.
Yeah.
And it's like,
just breathe.
It broke me. It in a way. I got so unreasonably angry reading at some of those replies. Like,
damn.
Not screw that. Not unreasonably angry. Like just angry
just
at
mad.
Humanity. Just like, what is wrong with you people?
People are crazy, man. They're crazy.
Anyway, State of Play happened this week, which is Sony's Nintendo Direct. They've aped that formula so well.
But it's fine.
I don't give a shit that it looks the same because it works. Because Inside Xbox is terrible. I really do not like that format.
Damn.
Like, hey, let's reveal something and then talk about it for half an hour.
For 3 years, yeah.
No.
This is like, oh, hey, here's a new thing. Here's
10
another
minutes,
new thing.
We got
Here's
everything
another new
we needed.
thing.
Yeah. So just a quick rundown. There's a new game called Humanity coming from Enhanced Games, who did Tetris Effect.
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Almost looks like Lemmings with people.
Oh no,
Looks
don't kill
cool.
people.
PS Plus October games announced, which is some MLB The Show, so baseball.
And The Last of Us remake for
Last of Us
remaster,
remastered, which is good.
some pretty good timing there. So if you've never played The Last of Us, let me tell you, you should play it.
Play that
It's
game.
a really
and
good
it's a
game.
good remaster as well. So
I actually want to grab it just to see what it looks like because I played it on PS3.
Well, you can
I'll grab it.
It's like 60 frames per second now. So
that's so nice. The Last of Us, when I played it, it's one of the very few games I've played in my life where I didn't want to play it because I'm like, I don't want this game to end. It's too good. So I'd like every night to play like an hour, 2 hours just to pad it out. And what
I
a
still
game.
distinctly remember playing that on PS3 and just being like,
I also
looks gorgeous. Like, this looks
I remember I was actually house sitting at my brother's place at the time. This was long ago now. I don't know where they were, but I would go to his place and I'd just chill, play like an hour or two, then go to bed. It's a good time.
It was a good game. What a good time.
It's so good.
Medieval Remake is got a demo now. So Sir Daniel
Fortescue.
Is it Fortescue?
I think it's Fortescue.
Sir Daniel Fortescue. You can pick up a demo now for probably the least excited I've ever been for a PlayStation remake. Even though Medieval I thought was pretty fun,
I also played Medieval back in the day and I really loved it, but I'm like, yeah, cool.
Like we had the Crash remake, we had the Wipeout Collection remake, this is the one I'm just like, I don't understand.
Whatever.
This game looks cool. So
what the hell is this?
Wattam. It's being made by the creators of Katamari Damacy. Keita Takahashi is working on this. So this was actually going to be a PS4 exclusive. Sony was going to publish this, and because Wattam's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Then Sony dropped it.
No.
Like, no, we're not doing this, and it looked like the game was gone. Now it's being picked up by Annapurna. You know, the publishers who do a lot of arty games like Florence and stuff like that. And now it's become multi-platform.
Okay.
But it's so weird now that Sony is highlighting it on
their
they
State
had this
of Play.
as an exclusive. Like,
That's so
I don't get
weird.
it. It's out in December. It looks really charming as hell. I can't really tell you what it is.
it's who knows?
But it looks good. And Katamari Damacy is good.
This looks great. Arise, a simple story.
This brand new game that I've never heard of. It looks kind of like a mix between a simple platformer and Journey, but it's like this. Like it looks almost like Nordic vibes to it. It's good. Oh, it looks so good.
I'm gonna see the cameo from Kratos.
Yes, yeah.
Gonna be there, what?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare got a story trailer which did absolutely nothing for me. I thought it was
drama, action, moustaches.
There was a line in this where I was just like, I lifted my eyebrows. I was like, really? Because it was like a moral quandary of like, how do we know who the bad guys are? And Price is just like, you'll know when you shoot them or something like that. I was like,
like,
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is war. This seems very Damn.
Okay.
Just did nothing for me. This was fucking stupid. Alan Ward, the VR Case Files, which is out on PSVR now. You were the one who messaged me. You were like, what the hell was that? It
I don't know.
So
like,
janky
okay.
and weird. And
like, they're just random. Jeez, like.
It looks like the sort of things that you can look at and be like, see, this is why VR is shit. Because it just looked garbage.
Look like that, yeah. After Party got a new
After
trailer.
Party looks so cool.
So these are the people who did Oxenfree. Did you ever play Oxenfree?
I played a bit of it. I haven't finished it.
I played it on Switch. It was a really great. Like, I don't know how long it took me to finish, but it's a great story. Really
Adventure
interesting.
game,
yeah. So the premise of this game is that I think you're in hell.
Yeah, two people go. You like prematurely died, and you both go to hell.
You have to outdrink the devil.
Yes. So the devil's
which is
got like
such
tears.
such
so
a
good.
Really interesting premise. Which is like. Imagine pitching that.
Yeah, like, hey, we're going to make a game where you have to outdrink the devil.
Cool. Let's make an adventure game based on that.
I just love how the devil looks here.
Yeah,
He's like
it's
really
awesome.
cool.
It's cool design.
It's just got this like really good purple neon design to hell, and it's an adventure game still, as far as I can tell, but it looks really good.
That trailer looked like it's the whole dialogue options, that sort of thing. And if one thing that stood out from Oxenfree is how seamless the dialogue was. You make your choices so quickly, and the story flowed so well.
Yes,
it's cool.
Yeah, I've got a sizzle reel of PSVR games, which all of them look pretty good. The one shout out there is Gorn, which is made by local developers Free Lives.
That's the
it's like a gladiator it's like a really over the top gladiator simulator. Nice. I've played it on Oculus because it's out on Oculus, and it's really fun.
Cool.
So yeah, keen for that on PSVR. Gorn. Civilization 6 is out on PS4 soon. That's cool. We've got a really...
Death Stranding's got a...
I love the console. I think the console looks nice. It's like a white and black mix, and then it's got the handprints. Which is
Yeah.
cool.
That's
That
cool.
controller is horrendous.
Controller's.
It's meant to look like your BB pod thing. So it's like a translucent yellow orange. It just looks awful.
Death Stranding console. Half good, half WTF.
Just like the game.
Well, yeah. I mean, it leans into the theme so well.
And then we got the Last of Us trailer and release date. So yeah,
That's it.
I think that's it for news. Do we
That's
have
Yes, we have a lot of
questions?
questions.
Oh my gosh, we're running over time. Okay,
What is
but
time?
if you want to send us questions, you can tweet us at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter. DMs and mentions, any of them, they're open. You can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can Facebook us, facebook.com/checkpointchat. Come chat to us.
Okay, we've got a first question from Malesh. He says, "Greetings."
Ooh.
Well, the title is "Greetings from your man down under." Then he
What
starts. He says, "Damn, that subject sounds wrong."
Not at all.
But I
love
think,
it.
given this momentous episode number, I'm not going to edit that.
Nice.
It's the nice one.
Nice.
Okay, it says no question this time, but the answers to your questions about gaming in Oz. Number one, games are expensive. Compared to other countries, probably compared to South Africa, nope, it's actually a little cheaper here. A new release, recommended retail price is $100, which is about 1,000 Rand. However, when a new game comes out, the big stores start a price war. So you can often pick up a game in a release week for as little as $69.
Whoa. Hey.
Consoles are on average about 500 Rand cheaper than SA pricing too.
Okay, so fairly similar.
Okay, so yeah. So I
That's
suppose
kind of
that's interesting.
surprising that the like brick and mortar stores can do a price war, because
Yeah.
it's like surely they buy stock at a certain price. Like that's
But they
actually quite
want-
fascinating.
Yeah. Games getting banned. This happens less often than it used to because my generation is now in leadership. The big thing is when your character can take drugs for an advantage, they hate that. I'm a little concerned about Cyberpunk getting banned or gimped, but that's easy enough to get around with the VPN and an SA credit
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Hotline Miami released on Nintendo Switch in Australia, which was the first time it had ever released there, and then got banned like a day later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. Okay, well that's interesting to know
That's
because
very interesting. Yeah.
because I mean I've never been to Australia.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know anything about it, and there is that stereotype like, oh, games are always expensive.
Well,
there.
I know Shani has cousins who live there, and I know the. So I guess when you move there, you're taking your rands there, and I know the very few first months are really hard because like the cost of
Exchange
living
rate
there is
doesn't-
so
yeah.
high. Like he's always told us what he pays there for a dinner for two, he can buy for like 8 people here.
Jesus.
So like stuff like that. So it's very curious that games prices are so similar in that regard. Then
Yeah. Okay.
that means to me, if the standard of living's so high, comparatively buying games, if they're similar to here, don't feel as expensive. Whereas here, because our cost of living is so reasonable, a 1,200 Rand game sounds unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, thank you for letting us know. We're breaking the Australian... Australia. Crocs in the
Crocs.
Billabong.
Oi.
Oi, governor.
Oh, governor.
Next question comes from Zane. He says...
I'm
what-
sad I didn't meet Zayn at
Also,
Comic-Con. I
this
saw
guy
him, that he was there
at
all the
Comic-Con
time.
just didn't see him.
Yeah.
Zane, why you like this?
Why you like this then?
He says, what's up, guys? So you can only choose one superpower. Super speed, ability to fly, or super strength. Which one would it be and why?
Sorry, super speed, ability
Ability
to fly,
or
and
super strength? Which one would it be and why?
Flying.
Flying, yeah.
Fuck traffic.
It's... I have the exact same thought. Like, you know what would be nice? To just not have to use my car.
Yeah, flying.
Just fly everywhere. You know, skip the traffic.
Just like, hey, I'm going home, go up to the roof at Discovery and just fly.
And remember, that changes things because all of a sudden you don't have to pay for flights either. You want to go to Portugal, you just fly
Depends
there.
how fast you're flying, though. If it's like, hey, you've got the speed of flight, but you move the same as like a 60-kilometer car,
Okay,
I'm
then
still
no.
sitting on a
No
plane.
flying, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because then it's going to take me like 3 years to
However,
get to.
if you have Superman speed, fly definitely. You know, you can
Imagine you could only fly as fast as a car, then even to Cape Town you can't fly. Because they'll just take you for... Imagine flying in the air for 14 hours, just like
you know how funny that would look.
whoosh, like
'Cause
playing your Switch while you're
Oh yeah,
flying.
all flying like in media or whatever, pop culture, all flying is always fast.
Yeah.
Generally, okay.
It's like breaking the sound
No
barrier
one's
fast.
ever tackled the prospect of flying at 120 k's an
Yeah.
hour, which is still pretty fast, but it'll look slow.
Yeah.
Just you over the air going. Yeah.
Like imagine the Powerpuff Girls, and every time the city was being attacked, it took them like half an hour.
We'll
to
be
get
there in
there.
half an hour.
Yeah, we got to take the high. There was that one episode where where they weren't allowed to use their powers and they had to drive in a car. So good. So good.
I think flights is... I mean, look, speed would be nice, but, unless I'm the Flash and I can, pinpoint my way around certain things. It doesn't matter if I'm fast and as soon as I go, I like run into a wall because I can't steer.
Yeah, exactly.
Super strength, okay, like, cool, I want to play my Switch, I pick it up and I snap it in half by mistake. You've got that risk. You
go and hug someone and you kill them.
You kill them. Like, it's so good to see. Oh God.
You haven't watched The Boys yet, have you?
No,
you
I need to watch it. Yeah.
You'll see some dangers of superpowers there. It's a good time.
Oh man, we have a lot of questions from Megs. Okay, question even titled there.
I thought we didn't have questions because I got a new phone and I haven't updated my email thing, so I didn't see any come through.
Megs sent the first question he sent at 4:41 this morning. Megs,
Jesus,
why is
good.
Up so early? Okay. So question...
I don't know if we'll get through all of them because we're an hour and a half already.
I know, we'll fly. Okay, good morning, choking palindrolico... No,
Palindron?
Palindrological clangers?
That's the one.
The Nintendo Switch versus the Apple Arcade iPhone. If I didn't own either device, but I'm interested in both, but can only afford one, which would you recommend and why? Are there any Apple Arcade games you like so far?
That's really dependent on if you have an iPhone.
Okay, assuming you have an iPhone.
Because if you don't have an iPhone, the Nintendo Switch is vastly cheaper.
Yeah. This is true.
Like, I'm not going to say...
I mean, when you put it like
15,000 Rand on an iPhone. But if you have an iPhone... I mean, there's games on that are exclusive to both. But, man, Apple Arcade is a frigging good deal. Like
for $6 a month.
I was playing a game this morning that because I saw it on Twitter, so I just downloaded it off Arcade quick. It's called Pinball Wizard. It's like pinball, but you're like going up floors of a tower, and each floor is a pinball stage.
Okay.
So your flippers are like the door to the stage, and your ball is the actual wizard. Okay. So when you flick him into enemies, he attacks the enemies automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool.
That's awesome.
And it's a roguelike, so it's up your alley.
That sounds fancy.
Wait,
but now you need to tell me, Nintendo Switch or Apple Arcade?
I mean, I'd still get a Nintendo Switch because that's like where the Zelda is and not the fake Zelda called Oceanhorn. But
so why does Oceanhorn get so much hate?
I mean, it is a 100% direct ripoff of Zelda. It's a good ripoff, but it's a fucking ripoff.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. It's cool that there's controller support. I like Apple Arcade a lot. I think I'm going to keep the subscription.
I haven't tried Apple Arcade, but...
You get a month free.
I know, I need to try it. But I want to use a month when I've got like nothing else to play.
Fair enough. Good point.
Get my value there.
Good point.
Okay, but I'll probably still get a Switch because Switch is live.
And then when you get Apple Arcade, if you subscribe, you and Lenska can share it because it automatically allows 6 people to share the same
sub. Oh, that's
sub.
cool.
Yeah.
Damn. We're going to do
Daniel.
Serendipitous Plisky Copious.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on
That's
games that include gameplay elements unique for the genre but seem probably definitely not a good fit for the game? For example, hammered in RTS crap in Brutal Legend, Super Mario Maker like dungeon buildings in Link's Awakening, and platforming side-scroller in Rise of the Dragon.
Rise of the Dragoon, isn't it?
Hero Dragon.
So I know Brutal Legend, like, everyone thought that game was like a hack and slash thing, and then it turned out to be like a very tower defense-y RTS inspired thing, and it like kind of threw people because it didn't make sense.
Damn.
So, but I think that's a different conversation because that was more like the marketing never made it clear that was the game. So it was very jarring when that's what it was.
Played it, yeah.
I guess the most recent example of this is like open world in Gears because like Gears has always been a linear, very tight third-person shooter, and now suddenly you've got these like open spaces, and I think it. Like I said, it's nice, but it's not on the bar that other open world spaces in this vein work. I think Metro Exodus did it a lot better. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm all for established games trying new things with new mechanics, yeah.
But I mean, sometimes it does work to the detriment of the game where, maybe not the detriment, but like Mick said, Link's Awakening does have that dungeon... Maker thing,
which apparently is not that good.
It's not good, so it's like, did they really need to put that in? No. But I don't know. I'm also not opposed to people trying different things.
Yeah. Like, imagine Final Fantasy VII Remake was just turn-based. Like, if they didn't try and reinvent that combat system.
It would still please a lot of fans.
Oh, it definitely would. And I mean, that's probably why they put in the classic mode.
But that new combat looks great.
Yeah, the new combat looks phenomenal. So, like, if they never tried that, it would have been a missed opportunity, I think.
Okay. Question 3. Always Cyclops pricked Calabash. I'm currently in the honeymoon phase of my free 3-month access to Xbox Game Pass for PC. The giddy feeling of seeing a game for the first time to notice it's part of the Game Pass service is almost overwhelming.
So good.
Have downloaded 6 games so far and very much looking forward to the Outer Worlds. How is Alessandro's experience with the service?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds, yeah.
Not Wilds.
Yeah, Worlds.
Okay, cool.
How is Alessandro's experience with the service so far? In detail, please. No yes and stuffing a pistache in your mouth with a full can of sugar-free Red Bull. So tell us about Game Pass.
Go drink Red Bull right
No.
I love Game Pass.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I love Game Pass. It's just there's like so many games on that service. It's really nice going through there and just kind of being like, oh yeah, I remember wanting to play this game once upon a time but never buying it, and just like hitting download and it's there. So I think this week Bloodstained Ritual of the Night came out and I'm like, oh, I was gonna buy that eventually. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, cool. It's really cool. I love it.
Especially with games like, not games, services like Apple Arcade now. I think that one stands out for me more because honestly, like Game Pass, don't get me wrong, 100 games, but I've played a bunch of them already. So it's maybe less, like, don't get me wrong, it's still a cool thing, but it's not as, what I'm getting at is that
Apple Arcade is like 100 new games.
It's 100 new games I've never seen before in my life. Whereas Game Pass is like, oh, I know that game, cool, I can play it. Yeah. But regardless, it's still a cool idea.
Yeah, the subscription model, I think, to me, works. I think streaming, I mean, you see, so it works from the perspective of a consumer. I think as a consumer, you get a lot of value out of that. I just hope we don't get to a stage where 2-3 years down the line, like things collapse in on themselves because it turns out these subscription services are not sustainable. They're not sustainable for the actual people making the games.
Damn.
And that's the thing that like Apple Arcade, as much as I like it, it's very confusing. It's very obtuse finding out what developers are actually getting from it. So yeah, I just hope it doesn't cave in on itself because right now, from a consumer standpoint, all these services are really good.
Yeah. You know? Okay, I think let's take this as the last question from me because there are 8.
We can't do all of them today. I think we went too long with games, but it's fine. We can keep them for next week.
Yeah, we'll keep them.
Keep them for the nice episode after party.
The episode 1 after the nice episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hey, curated perverse cheddar.
I'm not perverse cheddar.
How do you prefer to consume game reviews? Number 1, in the age-old text tradition. Number 2, the spoken word such as podcasts. Number 3, moving pictures such as Giant Bomb's Quick Looks.
Those moving pictures, they're so good.
Moving pictures are what I prefer, but the spoken word is often how I get to know about other games. Reading reviews, though, is lost to me since it has often been subpar compared to seeing a quick look.
Yeah, this is going to sound biased because I work for them, but I've always been and still am a big fan of GameSpot's video reviews. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I think they strike the right balance of we've taken the important parts of the text and given you some gameplay to look at. So I've always really enjoyed that. I like Giant Bomb's quick look stuff, but I think it's a bit too long for my viewing things. I think a quick look that's 30-40 minutes, like when I just want to get a good idea of the game, is fine. Yeah, I watch the quick looks when I want to see a lot of the gameplay.
Yeah,
when I just want a review, that's not what I'm looking for. But recently I read a lot just because I like reading. I like reading other reviews because it gives me ideas and inspiration on how to do my own reviews. Like in terms of flow and how people are using examples of their gameplay to drive home certain points and stuff. And I just like reading good reviews.
Yeah, I do a bit of all three, I guess. Interestingly enough, I think I spend looking at YouTube videos is probably my least chosen way. Not for any reason other than I just never get around to watching like 5-10 minute videos on YouTube generally. So I usually lean towards reading or listening to podcasts. But it like I don't know.
Podcast reviews are fun as well.
Yeah, but it really depends what you're looking for, because if you want like a quick overview with gameplay, I think YouTube is probably the best way, because it touches on key features and pain points and pros and cons, whatever, while showing you.
Yeah, always having gameplay helps.
Yeah, so it gives you like a better idea. Whereas like a written review, you can read about it in detail, but you only have screenshots to look at, which isn't a bad thing. But then that lets the person really go into a bit more detail of like why they did or didn't like a game. But then podcasts are fun because it's really just a conversation about it, and you get more like anecdotal stuff. Whereas like a review's got limited space. YouTube videos also, for the most part, they trim down.
They have to be concise. Yeah.
Whereas a podcast, you can hear all of like the little intricacies of a game that you might not have picked up from the other two mediums. So,
like I was listening to the Bombcast this weekend, and they spent an hour talking about Borderlands 3, and it was just like, I don't think they intended it to go on that long, but it just, every little thing that someone said, someone else had an opinion on it as well. So it's like, you get a really balanced view of the entire thing, which I like as well. I must say that if I'm doing, so this is particularly game reviews. If I'm watching hardware reviews, like I watch a lot of hardware for like PC stuff and a lot of Digital Foundry videos. I usually go to YouTube more than anything else there, and I follow specific hardware reviewers that speak to me. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I think we have one final question from John Michael.
John Michael.
He's here to defend his honor.
Oh, fuck you. Get out of here, John Michael. You have no honor here.
He says, hey, dudes, I need to defend my honor here and say that I never pre-order.
No, this isn't a corrections podcast. I'm sorry.
Let me give some context. Last week, we mentioned Code Vein, and I sort of just threw it out. I was like, I think John Michael pre-ordered that. And you're like, oh,
I think...
have you not warned him against pre-ordering? I was like, you know what? I actually don't know if he pre-ordered or not, but
I'm sorry.
Really
once it's said here, it's truth.
So he pre-ordered the game.
Yeah, he pre-ordered the game because you said it here, and we can't take it back. So
yeah.
He's sorry, John Michael. You've now pre-ordered the game against your will.
This is it. You're playing it right now.
You're playing it right. Wait, is it out?
I think it's out.
Oh, it is out. Yeah, it is out. Yeah.
He says, okay. Also, quick question: do you guys know the Wii Sports theme tune? You played Wii, right? Do you play Wii Sports?
I think I know it. I don't.
I need to find it for you. I'll tell you why. Just think about that for a second. Wii Sports theme. Do you not
I can't remember it. No.
Okay, you'll recognize it immediately.
Okay.
And let me give you some context first, though. We're playing Counter-Strike this week. Okay.
Okay.
Surprise, shock. Okay.
How did this come up?
Cello's busy defusing the bomb. We've won the round. The terrorists are dead for the most part. Okay. We're defusing. His one friend, though, for some reason, he meant to switch to a smoke grenade to like cover. Oh wait, so one terrorist was alive, and a tactic is you cover the bomb in smoke and you defuse, because then the terrorists can't really shoot you accurately. But instead of throwing a smoke grenade, he threw a hand grenade.
Oh no!
And he killed Cello. And Cello
was this a random other player?
No, one of our friends. And Cello, for some reason, thought is like, you got to take that video and like overlay the Wii theme music, because like I just died. I was like a pin.
Or like the what's that theme music from Kirby Enthusiasm?
Oh, what? So now after this, every game we played after, the random people were like, hey, do you know the theme to Wii Sports? And people were like, no. But this is it. Let me just play it. Some people... Oh, wait. See, I've already played this video.
Is it like at the end now?
No, yeah. You recognize that.
I do recognize it now.
It's got the piano. Da, da, da. Now imagine that playing after you've just been killed by a grenade. It's so happy and festive.
It's so ridiculous. Just like you're just looking at the death screen like...
He's like, that's what he heard in his head. Yeah, and that's all the questions this week.
If you want to get us some questions, at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com, on email, the electronic mails that don't require pigeons.
No.
And facebook.com/checkpointchat.
Yeah. We don't need more questions from you next week, Migs. We've got a good four.
Yeah, we've still got backlog. Just like our video games, we've got a backlog.
We've got so many, man.
Yeah. What are you playing today?
I want to just play more Link's Awakening. I still got, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I still want to play. I've still got some stuff to do in Control.
I still got to start that bloody game.
Oh my God, it's so good.
God damn. But we're in hardcore review season now. I'm busy again.
What are you playing? Oh, you can't tell us what you're playing.
I can't.
But I assume you're playing that today.
Not that good, so
no.
Hope it's not something you look. Nah, I don't think it's something you're looking forward to. But it's not that good.
Are reviewing Code Vein? You just don't
no, hell no, fuck that. That game's out. I could talk about it. No,
I don't know. Embargoes are weird. Maybe like no.
That's also true. Yeah,
don't tell people.
I think the Untitled Goose Game, the embargo was after the game came out. So
right.
Like, it was like for like the whole day that it was out, people couldn't talk about it. Who had played it for review? It was
That's
It was
weird.
bizarre. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Cool.
this has
We're
been
done.
the nice episode.
The nice
Checkpoint
episode.
Chat.
That's
we
why it's a
hope
little
you've
bit
had an
longer.
essential bath while listening to us.
What?
Your face there, you were like, no,
Stop it.
get out of here.
I'm leaving.
Fine, get out
Cool.
of here. I'll have my own bath.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Well, what? Whoa. Wow.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for saying hi, Checkpoint. At Comic-Con. If you
Yes.
did, don't worry. Checkpoint ChatCon is next year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you there.
Yeah. You
Tickets
thought
on
Comic-Con
sale
was
now.
cool? Checkpoint ChatCon.
We're going to have 72,000 people come to our
We have at least 72 people.
At least 7.2 people
there. Me and my close friends.
and 0.2 of someone else.
Yes. And then we'll combine it with a wedding.
Yes. What?
Yeah.
You're getting married?
No.
No. Wow, this is how
Oh, wait,
rumors
you've been
start.
married.
I've
Shit.
been-
I don't know what's going on here.
Mhm.
Okay, we're getting out of
We're
here.
cutting off. Goodbye.
Bye.